Hello and welcome to this ad for a t-shirt. Two t-shirts. Sure, it says pre-order, but they're up for regular order now. So head on over to fastcustomshirts.com and along with those shirts, hundreds and hundreds more shirts. If you're listening to this garbage, you'll love the fine, fine shirts over at fastcustomshirts.com. Custom work too if you need some shirts made. Speaking of garbage, head on over. I was going to say fucking the same shit. Merp, merp. Head on over to dwnproductions.net. Masks, bus, props, custom work, fine, fine stuff for fine, fine people. Bink. If you want something made, hit me up. Tales from the Crypt. Season 6, Episode 6, The Bribe. In this one, it starts out with the intro, if you can believe that shit. And then the Crypt Keeper's there, and this is the one where he's dressed up like Uncle Sam, and he's doing a Richard Nixon impression. It's not the Crypt Keeper doing a Richard Nixon impression. It's just John Kassir doing a Richard Nixon impression and the Crypt Keeper doing it. I forgot which one I complimented it on, where he was doing the Crypt Keeper plus another accent. I was like, oh, yeah, good for him for doing that shit. But this was just straight up Nixon. Mojo Nixon, that is.
I am not a corpse.
Yes. Whoa. What the fuck just happened? Oh, okay. I don't know what the fuck that was about, but I guess Joe hit something.
I didn't even touch the thing. I got my style down here. I don't know. He was just complimenting my impression skills. That's what it was, right?
Maybe. So this one, it stars Terry O'Quinn as a father. And Benicio del Toro's in it. He's like the number two in charge of a strip club. So this one starts out with a strip club. You see a lady dressed up like a devil, and she exposes her very very firm '90s boob job tits, and you're just like, oh yeah, this is some dated shit. And then Terry O'Quinn walks in, and he's the new fire inspector. So he goes and talks to the manager or owner of the place, and it turns out that the owner has naked pictures of his daughter or some shit. And Terry O'Quinn walks in and he says, hey, these pictures, they're my daughter. And he shows them to him. He's just like, oh, yeah, I've been there. And Benicio del Toro's in the background, like, yep, pardon me. So, anyways, fucking the stepfather, he's like, listen up, punk. I'm the new fire marshal. The last guy, you bribed him with money and children. I don't go for that shit. I'm gonna fuck you. You're on my dime now, bitch balls, and I will fuck you. He's like, whoa, hey, let's talk about this. He says, I will fuck you. And then the stepfather goes home, and his daughter and her boyfriend, they're having a scuffle. He's like a Letterman jacket college guy, and she's Terry O'Quinn, the stepfather's daughter. And they're just fighting, and the guy leaves, and the daughter's like, oh, he's a bastard. Blah, 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 blah. And Terry O'Quinn's like, what's going on? Did he try and fuck you? No, I got kicked out of school for fucking something. I can't remember if they said what for. Who gives a fuck? Doesn't really matter. Oh, I got kicked out of school, and he said that his parents won't let him be with a slut that isn't in school. He's just like, oh, well, that's not good. I'll let me try and raise the money, get you some money to pay for this college because she was on a scholar. She lost her scholarship, I guess. That was it. Scholarship was paying for it. Terry O'Quinn's like, oh, let me get some money together. And daughter's like, oh, don't even bother. It's more than you make in a year. And I was like, shit, I want to go through the screen and slap this bitch in the mouth. I can see why this motherfucker left you. You're an asshole. So Terry O'Quinn's all broken up about it because this guy was, the best thing that ever happened to her, even though he kind of treated her like a piece of shit. And he said, oh, yeah, the guys at the strip club, you might think that they're, dildos or fucking scumbags, whatever, but they never treated me like this. So fucking, he goes back to the strip club. He says, give me some money and I'll look the other way. I got to pay for my daughter's college. So he gets the money and brings it back to the daughter and says, look, now you can go back and keep blowing that guy with the Letterman jacket because you'll be back into college. He's the best thing that ever happened to you. It all worked out. So then old stepfather, he goes and sees the fucking nut who lives in the attic, who happens to be a pyromaniac. And he says, hey, you should go burn this fucking place to the ground. So he does. He lights the strip club on fire. He thought it was on a day that, because Terry O'Quinn told him it was on a day that no one would be there. But they were having a private party, Joe. And it turns out a whole bunch of people were there and a whole bunch of people died. And the owner of the club, he's like half burnt up on a gurney, holding a fucking necklace or a bracelet that Terry O'Quinn gave the fucking daughter. Oh my God. This was a party for my daughter. That means she's dead because of me. And then he goes home, shoots himself in the head, and then the phone rings. Answering machine picks it up. Oh, hey, Dad. I didn't want to tell you this over the phone, but I went to Mexico and got eloped. I'm married. And it's like, oh, look, she married Benicio del Toro. It wasn't the other owner guy. Oh, I can't believe it. And then this went on for like 5 more minutes, even though the punchline already happened. And that's when you wrap all this shit up. Tales from the Crypt. He's there back in his Uncle Sam shit. He being the crypt keeper says something about sucking dick and we're the fuck out. This is another lame one. I can't believe it, Joe. I can't fucking believe it.
So did the stepfather have his little Dean Koontz mustache going on, or?
No, he was shaven.
Ah, okay, classing it up a little.
Yes.
Yeah, because he's going to be on HBO. They weren't on HBO at this point, right?
No, it was. For some reason, at the beginning of season 6, it never happened before, but it always says home box office presents and then fades into the sort on any of the other DVDs. Fucking dickheads. Just to warn us this season sucks too. Think fuck, it's almost over.
Mm.
Yeah. Would not recommend, but I would recommend you check out the Boy God podcast if you liked whatever the fuck that was. Drops Monday on YouTube or at boygob.com. And I would mention the other shit, but I'm sure the ads played before this.